Hello, I'm Rodrigo, here with Professor Lourdes, and we're here to talk about her new book, White Trees. So, how did you get the title of the book?
The title of the book really is a symbol, literary symbol in the book. It relates to the sort of fantasy heaven that one of the characters, who's an artist, creates. So that's sort of what he refers to as his heaven, and has to do with being in a place like that. That's,
All right, and I heard that this book was based in South Florida.
Yes, it is based in South Florida, where I have lived most of my life. I was born in Cuba, and the book does have a lot of elements of not only my culture, but also just the experience of refugees' families coming from Cuba.
Excellent. Now, speaking of Cuba, I heard that the book has flashbacks for Cuba. How hard is it to write flashbacks in a book?
Well, flashbacks just means that it goes back in time, and one of the characters in the book is my protagonist's grandfather, who has Alzheimer's. So it fits in with the book because he is back in Cuba through much of the book.
Excellent.
So that's one of the...
So do you have any future works in
Yes,
lineup?
I'm writing a fantasy now. It's called A Whisper of Angels. I'm at the end of it. I was working on it last night, as a matter of fact. So I'm almost done with it. And it is a fantasy about angels that are here on Earth. And that has flashbacks, too. So.
That's quite interesting. So did you ever have writer's block with writing any of your books?
Yes, I think all writers sort of experience that. What I do, and which works for me, is this was my first novel, and this other one too. I always know the ending. I know where I'm going in my books in advance. So what I do when I get sort of stuck in a section is just move forward in the book. That helps. And sometimes you just have to wait it out, because scenes, ideas come to you at all types of different times, driving, mopping the floor, So sometimes you just have to wait it out a little. But I usually try to skip ahead in my story and see if I can, I know this is going to happen further down the line, so I'm just going to work on that.
Interesting. How is the Cuban heritage implanted in your book?
Well, the main character is a Cuban-American girl. She lives in Dade County in a fictional neighborhood. I sort of put together Sweetwater and Westchester, and created this neighborhood called Westwater. So it's sort of, it's both of those. Her family, though, came from Mariel, which isn't really my personal experience. We came before that. My family did. But that's how the Cuban-American, experience is. And her family's dealing with the typical issues that, refugee families deal with, trying to fit in, trying to, make it in a new country, language issues. The character herself was born here, so it's more her family that, her parents, her grandfather who have dealt with those issues. But the book explores how that kind of impacts on her life, and it does impact on her life greatly. And then just with her attempts to feel good about herself and fitting in, here in America and such.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you'll come back next year.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.